Thunder, that's what wakes me. Not the sound of the waves. I've learned to sleep through those, even when they crash against the rocks like cannon fire. But thunder cuts through everything. I open my eyes to darkness. Complete darkness. For a moment, panic grips me. Has the light gone out? Then I remember. I'm in my quarters at the base of the tower. The lamp room is 80 feet above me. The light is still turning. It has to be. It must be. I sit up on the narrow cot. The stone walls around me are damp, always damp. You can't escape the moisture when you live surrounded by the sea. It seeps into everything. Your clothes, your bones, your thoughts. Another crack of thunder. Closer this time. I need to check the lamp. My bare feet find the cold floor. I've walked this floor so many times I could do it blind. Which is good because the darkness down here is absolute. I find my oil lamp by touch. Strike the match. The small flame pushes back the dark just enough to see the first few steps of the spiral staircase. 147 steps. I've counted them 1,000 times. Sometimes I count them going up, sometimes I don't. Tonight, I count. 1, 2, 3. The stone is worn smooth under my feet. How many other keepers climbed these same steps? How many other men stood watch in this tower, alone, counting their way up into the light? 20, 21, 22. The wind outside is howling now. I can hear it even through the thick walls. This is going to be a bad one. The barometer was falling all day yesterday. I knew this was coming. 48, 49, 50. My legs burn. They always burn around step 50. You'd think after 6 months I'd be used to it. But your body never fully adapts to climbing this tower 5, 6, 7 times a day. 73, 74. I think of Sarah. I always think of Sarah on the climb. Maybe because climbing gives me time to think. Or maybe because climbing upward feels like reaching for something I can't have. She died in childbirth 2 years ago. The baby died too. A girl, we'd already named her. Margaret, after Sarah's mother. 112, 113, that's why I'm here. On this rock, in this tower, alone. Because being surrounded by people in Edinburgh only reminded me of what I'd lost. Every woman with a child. Every happy family. Every moment of joy I couldn't feel anymore. 139, 140. Here there's only the sea, the light, the duty. 147. I reach the lamp room. The lamp is burning perfectly. The great glass lens, taller than a man, rotates slowly on its mercury bath. Every 10 seconds, the light sweeps across the dark water. 10 seconds of blazing light. 10 seconds of hope for any ship out there in the storm. I check the oil reservoir. Still half full. Good for another 6 hours. But I'll need to refill it before dawn. Can't let it run low. Can't let the light fail. Through the curved glass windows, I can see the storm. Lightning forks across the sky, illuminating walls of rain moving toward the lighthouse like advancing armies. The sea is already furious, waves exploding against the rocks below, sending spray halfway up the tower. This is the worst I've seen since I arrived. I place my hand on the brass rail that circles the lamp. Warm from the heat. Solid. Real. A ship is out there somewhere. There's always a ship. Maybe a merchant vessel running late, trying to make port before the storm. Maybe a fishing boat caught too far from shore. Maybe someone's husband. Someone's father. The light must not fail. I check the clockwork mechanism that turns the lens. The weights are still descending smoothly. In 3 hours, I'll need to wind them again, like winding a clock. Except this clock saves lives. Everything is working. Everything is as it should be. But I don't leave. I stay, watching the storm build, watching the light sweep across the chaos, watching my small circle of duty push back against the enormous darkness. Down in the keeper's quarters, there's a photograph. Sarah on our wedding day, smiling, alive, full of all the future we thought we had. I don't look at it anymore. Looking at it makes me feel like I'm drowning, like the waves outside are inside me, pulling me under. But up here, in the lamp room, surrounded by glass and light and purpose, I don't drown. Up here, I keep the light burning, and that's enough. It has to be enough. I descend the stairs, slower this time, careful. The storm is shaking the tower now. You can feel it in the stone. A subtle vibration, like the lighthouse itself is alive, trembling but standing firm. Back in my quarters, I light the stove. The small fire does little against the damp cold, but it's something. I put water on to boil. Tea. I'll need tea to stay awake through the night. The lamp will need me again in 3 hours. Until then, I have maintenance. There's always maintenance. I take out my log, required by the Northern Lighthouse Board, daily entries, weather conditions, oil consumption, any ships sighted, any issues with the equipment. My handwriting is neater than it used to be. When you have nothing but time, even writing becomes deliberate. Careful. 8th November, 1852. Severe storm. Wind from the northwest. Barometer 28.9 and falling. No ships sighted. Lamp functioning normally. All systems operational. Short, factual. They don't want to know what I'm thinking. They just want to know the light is burning. I close the log and move to the supply shelves. Lamp oil needs checking. Wicks need trimming. Glass needs cleaning. The brass needs polishing. Sarah used to laugh at how particular I was about things. Everything in its place. Everything done properly. She'd call me her serious man and try to make me smile. I wish I'd smiled more. The water boils. I make tea, strong and bitter. Add a spoonful of sugar from my dwindling supply. The supply boat isn't due for another 3 weeks. I'll need to ration. I have salt beef, hardtack, some dried peas. It's what I have every night. Monotony doesn't bother me anymore. Monotony is easier than variety, easier than having to make choices. I eat slowly, mechanically. Fuel for the body. Nothing more. Outside, the storm rages. Rain hammers against the small window like someone trying to get in. The sea roars. Thunder rolls across the sky in long, continuous growls. And I sit here, in this small room, eating salt beef and hardtack, while the world outside tries to tear itself apart. There's something almost peaceful about it. The violence outside, the stillness inside, like I'm in the eye of a hurricane, untouchable, separate from everything. I think that's why I took this post, not just to escape Edinburgh, not just to escape the memories, but to find a place where the chaos is outside, not inside, where I can control something, keep something safe, keep something alive. Even if I couldn't keep Sarah alive, even if I couldn't keep my daughter alive, I can keep this light alive. I finish eating, wash my tin plate in cold water, put everything back in its place. Then I check my pocket watch. An hour until I need to wind the clockwork again. An hour to sit, to listen to the storm, to think about nothing and everything. I almost didn't become a lighthouse keeper. I was a clerk, a good one, decent pay, a small house on the edge of Edinburgh. Sarah and I were saving for something bigger, somewhere with a garden, somewhere to raise children. We had plans. So many plans. Then she was pregnant, and we were happy. Terrified but happy. Ready to become more than just the two of us. I remember the day she told me. I remember how her eyes shone. I remember thinking that I was the luckiest man alive. The labor went on too long. Too long. The midwife kept saying it would be fine. It would be fine. Just a bit longer. But it wasn't fine. Sarah bled. Too much. Too fast. And the baby never drew a breath. I held Sarah's hand as she died. She tried to say something, tried to tell me something, but I couldn't hear. I was screaming. Or maybe I wasn't screaming. Maybe I was completely silent. I don't remember. After the funeral, people kept asking if I was all right, kept saying it would get better with time, kept telling me I was young, I could remarry, have more children, as if she was replaceable, as if any of it was replaceable. I stopped going to work, stopped eating properly, stopped sleeping, just sat in that house, surrounded by all the plans we'd made, all the future that didn't exist anymore. Then I saw the advertisement. Northern Lighthouse Board seeking keepers, isolated posts, long terms, solitary duty. I applied the same day. They asked why I wanted the job. I told them I wanted to serve, wanted to do something meaningful, wanted to protect lives. I didn't tell them I wanted to disappear, but they must have known. They see it in all of us. All the lighthouse keepers are running from something. Debt, shame, loss, ourselves. We're the men who choose the rocks over the world. And here I am, on my rock, in my tower, keeping my light. The storm is still raging outside. The waves, the wind, the rain, the thunder. But in here, it's quiet. Just me and my thoughts and the time passing slowly. Time to wind the clockwork. Time to climb the stairs again. Time to keep the light burning. 1, 2, 3. Up the stairs again. My third climb tonight. Won't be the last. 27, 28. My oil lamp throws shadows on the walls. Shadows climbing with me. Shadows that look like other people, but there's no one else here. Just me. Just shadows. 54, 55. The storm is at its peak now. The whole tower shakes with each wave impact. Stone and mortar, 200 years old, built to withstand exactly this. Built by men who knew what the sea could do. Built by men who knew that some lights must never go out. 89, 90. I wonder what Sarah would think if she could see me now, climbing these stairs in the middle of the night, alone in a lighthouse on a rock off the Scottish coast, living like a hermit, like a monk in a very tall, very cold monastery. Would she understand? Would she think I was brave? Or would she think I was running away? Maybe both. 123, 124, my legs burn, my lungs burn, but I keep climbing, always climbing, up towards the light. 147, the lamp room. The light is still burning. Of course it is. It always is. But I need to see it. Need to check it. Need to know with my own eyes that it hasn't failed. I wind the clockwork. The heavy weights rise slowly as I turn the crank. 100 turns. My arms ache by the end, but it's a good ache. The ache of purpose, of work that matters. The lamp is burning low on oil now. I refill it carefully. Can't spill a drop. Oil is precious. Life is precious. The lens continues its slow rotation. 10 seconds of light. 10 seconds of dark. 10 seconds of light. I clean the glass panels. Even a smudge can diminish the light. Even a small imperfection can mean the difference between a ship seeing the warning and a ship smashing into the rocks. Through the windows I can see the storm is finally beginning to ease. The rain is less violent, the lightning less frequent. The waves, while still enormous, have lost some of their fury. Dawn is coming. I can feel it more than see it. That subtle shift in the quality of darkness. The way the storm seems to know the night is ending. I've made it through another night. The light has made it through another night. And somewhere out there, maybe a ship has made it through another night too. Maybe a captain saw this light and steered away from danger. Maybe sailors who don't even know I exist are alive because I climbed these stairs and kept this lamp burning. Or maybe no one was out there at all. Maybe it was just me and the storm and the light. But it doesn't matter. The light burned. That's what matters. 1, 2, 3. Up the stairs again. My third climb tonight. Won't be the last. 27, 28. My oil lamp throws shadows on the walls, shadows climbing with me, shadows that look like other people, but there's no one else here. Just me. Just shadows. 54, 55. The storm is at its peak now. The whole tower shakes with each wave impact. Stone and mortar, 200 years old, built to withstand exactly this. Built by men who knew what the sea could do. Built by men who knew that some lights must never go out. 89, 90. I wonder what Sarah would think if she could see me now, climbing these stairs in the middle of the night, alone in a lighthouse on a rock off the Scottish coast, living like a hermit, like a monk in a very tall, very cold monastery. Would she understand? Would she think I was brave? Or would she think I was running away? Maybe both. 123, 124. My legs burn, my lungs burn, but I keep climbing, always climbing, up towards the light. 147. The lamp room. The light is still burning. Of course it is. It always is. But I need to see it. Need to check it. Need to know with my own eyes that it hasn't failed. I wind the clockwork. The heavy weights rise slowly as I turn the crank. 100 turns. My arms ache by the end, but it's a good ache. The ache of purpose, of work that matters. The lamp is burning low on oil now. I refill it carefully. Can't spill a drop. Oil is precious. Life is precious. The lens continues its slow rotation. 10 seconds of light. 10 seconds of dark. 10 seconds of light. I clean the glass panels. Even a smudge can diminish the light. Even a small imperfection can mean the difference between a ship seeing the warning and a ship smashing into the rocks. Through the windows I watch the storm, still raging, still trying to consume everything. But the lighthouse stands, the light burns, and I am here. I don't leave the lamp room this time. I pull the small wooden stool from the corner and sit, watching the storm through the curved glass. This is the hardest part of the night, the hours between midnight and dawn, when exhaustion weighs heavy but sleep is impossible, when thoughts become louder than the wind outside. I think about the other keepers, the ones who came before me. How many sat in this exact spot, on this exact stool, watching storms just like this one? The logbooks go back decades. I've read them all. Brief entries, weather, oil consumption, ships sighted. But between the lines, you can feel them. The loneliness, the dedication. The men who chose this life, or had this life choose them. There was a keeper named MacLeod. 20 years he tended this light. 20 years alone on this rock. Then one day the supply boat came and found him dead in his quarters. Heart gave out. He was 46 years old. They say he died in his sleep, peacefully. But I wonder, was it peaceful? Or was he afraid? Did he know it was coming? Did he wish in those final moments that someone was there with him? I shake my head. These aren't helpful thoughts. Not in the middle of the night. Not alone in a lighthouse during a storm. But they come anyway. The thoughts always come. I stand and check the lamp again. Still burning perfectly, still turning, still sending its message across the dark water. Stay away. Danger here. Rocks here. Death here. Such a simple message. Such an important message. I press my hand against the glass window. Cold. So cold. Outside, the rain streams down, distorting the world beyond into shapes and shadows. Sometimes I wonder if the world beyond is even real anymore, if Edinburgh is still there, if the streets I walked are still being walked by others, if life is continuing without me. Of course it is. The world doesn't stop because one man removes himself from it. But it feels like it might have. It feels like this lighthouse, this rock, this moment might be all that exists. Like I'm the last man in the world, keeping the last light burning against an endless darkness. The lens rotates. Light, dark, light, dark. My heartbeat seems to match it. Steady, constant, alive. Something changes in the storm. I feel it before I see it. The wind shifts. The rain eases just slightly. The waves, while still enormous, lose some of their chaos. They're still powerful, but more rhythmic now. More natural. The worst has passed. I watch as the storm begins to break apart. Clouds scattering. Stars appearing in the gaps, impossibly bright after so much darkness. The first grey light of dawn creeps across the water. Not the sun yet. Just the promise of the sun. The world slowly remembering what light looks like. I've made it through another night. The light has made it through another night. And somewhere out there, maybe a ship has made it through another night too. Maybe a captain saw this light and steered away from danger. Maybe sailors who don't even know I exist are alive because I climbed these stairs and kept this lamp burning. Or maybe no one was out there at all. Maybe it was just me and the storm and the light. But it doesn't matter. The light burned. That's what matters. I think of Sarah again. I allow myself to think of her now, in this quiet moment between night and day. I remember her voice, her laugh, the way she'd tuck her hair behind her ear when she was concentrating on something. I remember the last thing she said to me, or tried to say. Her lips moved, but no sound came. I've spent 2 years trying to read those lips, trying to understand what her last words were meant to be. Maybe, I love you, maybe I'm sorry, maybe just my name. I'll never know, but I know this. She wouldn't want me to stay broken forever. She'd want me to find a way to live. Even if it's here, alone, on this rock. This is my way, this light, this duty, this endless vigil. It's not the life we planned. It's not the future we dreamed of. But it's a life. And it has meaning. And maybe that's enough. The sun rises, pink and gold spreading across the water. Beautiful. The kind of beauty that hurts because you want to share it with someone and there's no one to share it with. But it's still beautiful. The sea calms. The storm clouds scatter. The world is washed clean, like it's been given a second chance. Maybe I've been given a second chance too. Not to have my old life back. That's gone. That's buried in an Edinburgh cemetery under a headstone I can't bear to visit. But a second chance to be useful, to matter, to keep something alive. I watch the sunrise until the sun is fully up, until the world is light again, until I can turn the lamp off and let the day take over. The clockwork winds down, the lens slows to a stop, the flame dims and dies. The night's work is done. I perform the final checks, clean the brass, wipe down the glass, make notes in the log. 9th November, 1852. Storm past, wind decreasing, barometer rising to 29.4. No ships sighted. Lamp functioned normally throughout the night. All systems operational, short, factual. They don't need to know about the thoughts, the memories, the long hours of vigil. They just need to know the light burned. And it did. I descend the stairs one last time. 147 steps down. Slower now. Tired. My legs heavy. My eyes burning from lack of sleep. But satisfied. Each step taking me down from the light. Down from the duty. Down into rest. 90, 89, 88. I don't count them going down. Going down, I just feel them. Each one a small release, each one closer to sleep. 50, 49, 48. Back to the quarters. Back to the narrow cot. Back to the small room that is my entire world when I'm not tending the light. 20, 19, 18. I think about tonight, when the darkness comes again, when I'll light the lamp again, when I'll climb these stairs again. And I'm not afraid. I'm not reluctant. I'm ready. 3, 2, 1. The bottom. I close the door to my quarters, remove my boots, my coat, lie down on the narrow cot, close my eyes. Outside, the sea continues, the wind continues, the world continues. Waves against the rocks, gulls calling, the lighthouse creaking and settling like an old man easing into a chair. I am so tired, so very tired, but it's a good tired, the tired that comes from work, from purpose, from duty fulfilled. My breathing slows, deepens. I think of the light. Even with my eyes closed, I can see it. Turning, burning, watching over the water. Tonight, I'll light it again. Tonight, I'll climb those stairs again. Tonight, I'll keep watch again. Because this is what I do now. This is who I am. The keeper of the light. Alone, but not lost. Isolated, but not adrift. Here, on this rock, in this tower, with this light, I am needed. And maybe that's all any of us really need. To be needed, to have purpose, to keep something alive. Even if it's just a light in the darkness, especially if it's just a light in the darkness. Sleep takes me slowly, gently, like waves pulling back from the shore. And in my dreams, I'm climbing stairs, always climbing, up toward something bright, something warm, something worth reaching. Maybe it's the lamp, maybe it's something else, but I keep climbing, always climbing, toward the light.